Today I am challenging myself to turn 1,000 scraps so small most quilters wouldn't dream of sewing with into a quilt. I'm taking fabric crumbs that barely hold a stitch, but in the end you won't believe how great this will turn out. Here's what we're working with today. 1 jar packed with 1,000 fabric crumbs. Yep, 1,000. I've already fished them out of my scrap pile just for this project. I'm doing a rainbow color wash for this quilt, and it's been a while since I made one, so I'm very excited. Let's sort these out into the 8 colors I'll be using. Remember when I said these crumbs are so tiny that you can barely sew with them? Because if you remove the seam allowance, there's not much left, is there? So time to get a little crafty. I'm starting with a piece of thermal adhesive, 48 by 17 inches. This way we don't need a seam allowance. The idea here is to overlap and fuse these scraps together. It's a simple way to give little scraps a second life. And when we're working with crumbs, we usually just mix them up, right? All sorts of colors. But not today. Like I said, I want a rainbow, so separate colors it is. That means I'm doing strips of color. So I've marked 6-inch areas, 1 for each color, and now I need to make sure I keep each color within these lines. Let's see how we do. So what exactly is a crumb quilt? I'll be honest, it kind of depends on who you ask. It's essentially a quilt where you use the smallest scraps of fabric. That part we all agree. It's what makes a crumb that really varies. Some people say it's anything less than 1 inch. Some people say 2 inches or even bigger. For me, it's my go-to pattern when I want zero waste, so that means really teeny tiny pieces. The smaller, the crummier. And that's why I never sew my crumb quilts. I always use this method. I will say, making a clear, definite line is harder than I imagined it would be because my scraps are really uneven. But I kind of like this spilled look. Let's see what we can do here. You know, I'm on a mission to make every scrap count, so nothing goes to waste. And this project is perfect for that. With everyday life getting more and more expensive, I'm always looking for ways I can save because every bit really does add up. Recently, I found something that's actually making a real difference. It helps me get the best deals when I shop online and even gives me a little money back. If you're anything like me, you love a good bargain, but you don't have the time to waste an afternoon chasing coupons or going all over the websites to go and check the best prices, right? That's where today's sponsor, Coopert, comes in. It's a free browser extension that finds the best deals on over 3 million retailers. It works on Chrome, Edge, Safari, you name it. And there's an app for your phone too. And now, every time I shop online, Coopert finds the best coupons at checkout and applies it automatically. For example, I went to Gymshark looking for training t-shirts. They were $30 each and I couldn't find any coupon codes myself. But Coopert tried a bunch of codes at checkout and ended up saving me $3 just like that. And here's something that I really love because it compares prices in all websites so you know you're getting the best deal. For example, I wanted to buy new gym shoes, so I went straight to Amazon thinking I'd snag a great deal. As you can see, it pops up this orange button, and on there you will see that it showed me that the exact same shoes are cheaper on eBay and other stores. See? I saved more $45 just by using Coopert. And that's not all. Coopert even gives you cashbacks at over 76,000 retailers. That means you get money back just for shopping like you normally would. It typically takes about 15 days for the cashback to process. And then you can redeem it via gift card, PayPal, or straight to your bank card. With my t-shirts, I not only saved $3 with Coopert's coupons, but I also earned a bit of cashback. Win-win! If you haven't tried Coopert yet, I really recommend you giving it a go. It's a way to put money back in your pocket without any extra effort. Just click the link in the description, install it for free, and start saving money today. I'm loving the look and I think I've covered the entire area, so let's press these to make sure they will never move again. Now this is important, we don't iron it, we press it. The adhesive will shift and bend if you iron it and the pieces may move. After we spent all this time getting them into place, it would be a shame to spoil it. I can see a few places I'm not completely happy with, so I'm just going to get my glue pen and I'm adding a couple more scraps to this mix. And I really like that they're not all, neat little squares. Mixing all the shapes gives it a more organic, a more free flow look. It just makes the whole thing much more interesting. It's also a lot of fun doing quilts this way. You don't really have to think or make any big decisions. You just lay down your scraps until you've covered the whole thing. Then you see if you'd like to add anything, like a spot here and there where there's too much of the same fabric or the same color value, and that's pretty much it. And this is something you can do with kids. They can help pick up the scraps and put them in place, and it all turns into a family project. And this is our quilt top, but we're not finished yet. Next step, we need to make ourselves a quilt sandwich. So we need some backing fabric and some batting. Now remove the back of the adhesive, and this is kind of nerve-wracking before we continue. Next, we make our sandwich and we pin all 3 layers together because we are going to quilt this beauty. And I've just realized I haven't quilted with you in a very long time. I love doing it. I usually go for free motion, but not today. You've also probably noticed, if you've seen me do similar projects before, that today I'm not adding my veil, and I totally forgot to press into the backing. Let's do that. Because I want these colors to pop, I also need to make sure I quilt them in a way that they stay put. So I'm just going to add some really thin lines. This way, I am kind of adding some order to the chaos, right? The mixed shapes give it a wild look, but the thin strip lines take it down a notch or two. I'm using my walking foot and hoping my sewing machine behaves. And as you can see, so far we have not done anything that is too complicated or too advanced. Anyone can do this. This technique also makes awesome placemats and mug rugs or coasters. And if you use an adhesive that isn't as hard as the one I'm using, you can do a whole quilt this way and it will look stunning. This is one of those quilts that just looks so interesting and special because after you've quilted the whole thing, it's like the shapes kind of blend into each other. They become more than just a bunch of scraps. They become a cohesive piece. And at the same time, if you take a closer look, you can still see all the patterns and all the different fabrics. So yeah, this is a really interesting one. I do hope you get to try it. And this is why a long neck is so helpful, to be able to feed all of this through the machine. This is particularly awesome for when you need to make a last-minute gift or something like that. You don't have the time to go and buy fabric or make an elaborate pattern, but this can be done at any time without any notice. Just grab some scraps and get to it. Our quilt is almost done. All it needs is the binding. I could have done some self-binding if I made the backing fabric longer than the top. All it would take would be for me to bend the fabric over the top, fold it a couple of times and be done. But I think using the separate binding makes it look a little bit better and I prefer it that way. I totally think it's worth the extra effort. I just need to sew it to the back first and then the front and we will be done. I always love using white binding for my rainbow pieces. It just helps to rest the eyes a little bit and at the same time it just makes all these colors pop. If I used any other color, not only would you not notice the binding, but the colors would just all blend together and we don't want that. Ah, look at these pretty mitered corners. How cute are these? And this is what we get, a crumb table runner that will never get a twin. It's unique, one of a kind, and so much fun to make. From trash to treasure, and this is what crumbs are made for. I had a blast, I hope you do too, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.